15-5, and G2 now on match point, 1 round away from that playoff spot.
Look at the money that mousesports have to play with. The end is nigh for this side.
Needs to take down 4 players. They don't know where he is just yet, but there it is. Jacob's going to connect the shot, and G2 go through here at DreamHack Cluj-Napoca to that playoff spot. Back when they were King-win and everything. The questions, there are so many. How will this lineup make it happen? Who's going to play what role? How do they get over these communication issues? There are so many things that seem like it could never work. And then we've gone through this huge evolution, different players joining the lineup, and then finally we arrived here at this G2 lineup, and it seems like something that can go quite far and give any team in the world a run for its money.
Well, going forward,
this takes no damage, and NIP now at match and map point, a single round away here from making the quarterfinals in yet another major. Naked walk into the B-bomb side, no signal that it was going to happen for mousesports, and Chris, and you can't do this at this point here. 1-on-3, he's going to go down, and NIP, they make another quarterfinals of a major tournament with a 16-9 finish over mousesports with a stand-in, their coach playing as well.
And right on the edge, and this has got to be the biggest letdown for mousesports at this point.
Yet again.
Yet again. Back-to-back massive tournament. Chris J in particular, he gets a lot of heat every time. He tried to make it happen towards the end, but he definitely didn't have the strongest performance here on the last map.
They just had such a hard time getting into the second half. And again, it's partly because they get cut off so early, right? They win the pistol and the follow-up. They lose the 3rd round where NIP buy, and then they go into a 5-round losing streak. And some of that, I think, due to the fact, again, that they buy so many pistols, right? They keep upgrading their pistols all the time. Then they finally win a round after losing 5, and you know, it's a single win and then a loss. They just don't.
I want to start with a tough question to start with. So, if I say NiKo is the best CS:GO player in the world, what do you say?
Maybe I wouldn't agree because I didn't play the really important tournaments like ESL Pro League. I didn't play finals of major, semi-finals, something like that. So I cannot say for myself that I'm like the best player now in the world. I need to prove myself even more.
If you consider a year
a couple of kills, but Simple and JDM are still alive. It's a 2-on-3, and there's JDM with the first kill on next. Simple helping out, and that's going to be the round. 16-6 as Liquid take out mousesports on 2 maps and make it into the top 8.
Of the major, they go with the help of Simple. And Liquid looking fantastic. mousesports just a disaster again. And I don't think that that's a grin of happiness on Speedy's face. I think he's actually feeling the pain so much that it's more of like a rictus, right? You know, it's just the muscles in his face are stretched tight. Looks like a smile, but he is definitely not happy right now.
It's got to be something like that. A really painful loss, and I think this time it seemed even worse. I mean, previous majors, they seem like they're so close all the time. This time, they actually did get destroyed, especially on the second map. So that's just really, really rough, isn't it?
That's a hard stat line to be following as well, right? Have never made it out of the groups, mousesports.
Yeah, but you think about the other times they've been so close. You know, it's looked ridiculous. It looks like, you know, they're almost there, and then they don't make it this time. Things are even rougher. So I don't know where they go from here. I could imagine there being some sort of news about how this is all going to work out. But luckily for us, we will have a full tactical breakdown on what we saw on the second map here. It'll be after the next one. It's so ridiculous.
There it is. There it is. The double. I love it. The double.
And any longer, and Team Liquid, that's going to be it. 16-4 as they make their way through and knock mousesports out of the 2017 ELEAGUE Major Tournament here at Day 4 of the group stage. Just absolutely heartbreaking. They end up on Nuke, and they did not look like a team that were prepared for it at all.
No, that's one of the more devastating losses that we've seen here. Obviously, it's devastating. You've lost. You're out of the tournament, but I don't think that anybody on mousesports can say that they performed up to the level that they needed, like that, and probably that they thought that they could bring on Nuke.
Yeah.
None of them got rolling. Even NiKo was struggling. Like, it wasn't until the very end where we started to see something, but nobody really felt like they were able to hit their shots or do their job. And so I'm not even going to point at one player in particular and say, well, you know, that's tough. It's just...
But you do see that.
And what's your expectations now? Because it's going to be a really strong, even better strong-looking team at the paper.
We are going to be aiming for top 1.
And by joining, you also get this spot to next major, which mousesports needs to qualify for. How does that feel?
It feels like super cool. This is like my first major, which I don't need to play qualifier. So it's like super good.
It's a favor of FaZe. Bomb getting planted, or perhaps not quite yet. NiKo has to stand his ground. Electronic on the high ground himself. Last man standing, the bomb is down again, the 1 versus 1. It's Karrigan, the in-game leader, the talisman for FaZe Clan. He can't do it. Flip side, hello, have finally done it. 16-10. They've taken it over the line. They had so many rounds to do it, and eventually they did.
And amazing stuff as well for the young blood, for Electronic, the up-and-comer, to put the final nail in the coffin that they put FaZe into and then buried. That was the storyline, and Blade put them there. Blade was the position that I think Blade, with all the work that they put in, because you could see how hard they drilled. I mean, if you just go back and look at some of the detail in the rounds there and how well coordinated they were, you can really see how much work Flipside have been putting in to prepare for this.
Pleased with that, but they've still got a long way to go, and it's a long way home for the FaZe Clan. It wasn't even 0-2 barbecue, no barbecue for them, just like tofu and maybe some cold and dry cocktail sausages for the FaZe team. That has to be highest expectation and worst outcome that I've seen in recent memory at a major.
Absolutely. If you consider the way that they were building in towards this major, it's really insane, isn't it? I think, as I mentioned during the game, so many people and rightly would have been expecting FaZe to be great contenders for a top 4, if not a grand finals finish. They've been looking amazing recently. So that group stage struggle, man. I mean,
but what is that thing from Batman? The night is darkest just before the dawn. So perhaps the sun will rise for FaZe Clan tomorrow. But for now, their tournament has come to an absolute end, a halt.
My God!
Do you know what that noise means, Dan? It means it's match point Cloud9 again. Do they have enough to take it over the line this time?
Something like Cloud9. We saw it from this position before. He cannot miss a single shot. Guardian waits patiently as Cloud9 sets the push up. Oh, it's happened! They made it work! Cloud9 are your ELEAGUE Major champions! Incredible storylines we've ever had. A North American team in North America with a major win. That is truly incredible. The class, resilience, the strength, time and again that they've shown is something very special indeed.
The best Cloud9 we have ever seen, with the most difficult run. Cloud9, the ELEAGUE Major champions. Everybody felt like it was their major, but it wasn't meant to be, not today. And how about this boy? Such a struggle to even get to play professional Counter-Strike in the first place. And now he is a major champion. I can barely believe it. Maybe he can't either. Absolutely insane. And there it is, chat moderator Valens lifting the trophy.
And maybe we'll get that interview that was promised. If Cloud9 won the major, Skadoodle will give an interview, and that's something.
In Guardian left 2-on-4, and you're absolutely right, Moses. There's nothing left to fight for. Guardian with the MAC-10. He chases down one, but it's 16-12, and Astralis make another semi-final here at the major. Impressive. Again, they are just such a hard team to beat. That second half looked completely untouchable. They're not at that trophy yet, Moses, but this was a big step in the right direction. That means they're going to be facing Liquid, and my God, what a game.
Yeah, everyone wants that. You asked during the game, what can stop this Astralis defense on Inferno, and it was Liquid who actually showed that they could do it.
Yes, indeed.
And that'll be such a fun matchup to have. That's kind of like, that's almost like a grand final matchup that everyone kind of predicted. These two teams looking the best coming into this event, but either way.
And Zeus keeps finding kill after kill. 5-on-3 now, it's up to Guardian. I think we might be done here. They've got to tap out. There's nothing left as one player remains, and there it is. It's 2-0. Na'Vi booked himself a place in the semi-final in convincing fashion as well. What a great performance of them. And FaZe, an underwhelming one, as they will crash out in the quarterfinals. They expected so much more here.
They certainly were up against it, and it shows. Na'Vi, though, again, I'm with you. They could do this, then that was an incredible performance compared to what we've seen from them over the last 3 weeks.
And the thing is as well, it's not like we're saying, oh, it's all about a simple and flamey right now. You look at the scoreboard right now, everyone's in tandem. There's Electronic at the top and everyone else between 16 and 18 frags. That's what you need to be a world-class team. Everyone performing at a similar level, not just a couple of individuals that might be able to steal away a game for you.
That's absolutely true. Whole team from Na'Vi applied. You mentioned Simple's problems with going down early. They rectified many. We're going to rectify a lot of these issues by talking to 3 men who know a lot more about the game than we do. We'll send it over to the analysts.
Neo upgrades to a Mac 10 versus 3 players. They've got another flashbang as well. Once they find out where he is, surely it's impossible. A Mac 10 for Neo versus 3. Can he get around the corner? He can't do it. Renegades take it. They survive and they eliminate FaZe Clan from the major.
So many dreams have been crushed here for FaZe. I cannot believe it that we got to this point. As you said, James, many people will be very disappointed in terms of the pick'ems. And Renegades, though, they'll stay alive. They'll be able to rejoice here now and tonight, perhaps, but it is going to be mad preparation to keep themselves alive because they're going to be fighting for their life again tomorrow.
That's got to be so disappointing. History has been made, not in a good way for FaZe Clan. Olofmeister, so consistent from map to map. Finishing that one.
And finally, in terms of this major, obviously, like you said, it's the first one we've had in 2 years. We've been waiting for it. You are a man that performs at LAN, and G2 certainly would love for you to bring it home. But how much would it mean to you? Because you've been around this many times without being able to lift that trophy.
Not many times. It was only once. I'm aware of it. I'm not a guy who missed out on many chances. I did miss on a very close one. That's true, but as I said, for this one, I really don't put much pressure on myself that I have to win this one. There are going to be more majors, and I know I'm going to be more ready individually and more experienced, and my team will be a better peak because we know we are not at the best peak, so that's why we are not like we have to win, you know. So I don't want to put that pressure on myself. I just want to enjoy this moment that we are back at the arena, and I just want to do as best as I can, but not like I have to win, otherwise my career, like I will never achieve this, you know. There will be majors that I will be more ready and the team will be more ready to win it. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
We'll have to see how it goes. And NiKo, thank you very much.
Bare minimum. 2 players to defend. NiKo has already found a frag on this low HP. He'd need another though.
10 seconds to either plan. That's
oh
the
no!
bomb. That's
It's falling apart!
That's going to be
It's
it!
only NiKo, there's no time! He just has to watch that clock tick down! This is it! Na'Vi have taken the major!
A lifelong dream. Bit. And you'll never forget his name, Simple, with his first.
History's been made today. History's been made. Undefeated in a CSGO major. Not a single map dropped, and they were pushed, they were tested. Na'Vi.
What a fight out of G2. This close. That shot. That shot. You take a shot at the GOAT, you best not miss. Because you're champions of the PGL Major Stockholm 2021. It's Na'Vi.
For NiKo here, G2's hopes and dreams. This one's done.
He's not even looking at it. He's got his back to him. And this will be Furia securing it. What a play from Keserato. They've done it. Simultaneously knock out G2 and secure a spot at the Palace.
the top 8 of the major. And all that release, that sweet release of tension, a full 3-map affair. We're talking nearly every round across the 3 maps. Every individual having their moment. And the new addition, m0NESY, will not see the major playoffs. Brazil have been kicking up a fuss and making a storm here in Antwerp, not only with Imperial, but with Furia.
It was a miracle that he even slipped into that position, and you see G2 just absolutely shattered. They didn't have the same level of playmakers available to them in a match like this. They worked hard on Inferno to draw it back into a 1-1, but it just wasn't enough here. Ancient, Furia looking hot to trot. This is beautiful stuff.
Can you quite believe it? The way in which it was found as well. The full 3 maps, we find an end on Ancient, and it is some hijinks in the first half. The playmakers, I think that's my biggest takeaway.
It has to be those 2 rounds. That's what it comes down to here. The Tech-9 in the first half on the T side, where they win out in the 2v3 post-plant on the A side. That got them into the team.
IEM with the frag. m0NESY with it all to do. He gets the wall bang in and hunts for the last man. He's got the kit. Needs the ace. Only hits the leg shot. The USP comes out, but it's a cold day in hell. Gamer Legion have eliminated G2 from the European RMR as they stay alive, bound for the major.
Oh my goodness, what a result, what a best of 3. After going the distance against FaZe in a best of 1, after going to the distance against Spirit, we see the victory in a best of 3 against G2. That is unreal!
The unthinkable has unfolded before our eyes. Gamer Legion stacked against, but G2 have truly bottled it. Down from the finals, down from the legend stage, eliminated in the RMR. The dejected look on their faces tells it all as their road to Rio ends here.
For G2, this is a complete disaster. Every move they've made, G2, over the past, two years or so, has been made to get to the major, to lift a major trophy. That was the express goal of the team when players like NiKo and when players like m0NESY joined the roster. So to not be there for them, it's soul-crushing. I think that's just a team that has always struggled with mentality issues. They have all the pieces. I don't think there's a whole lot of things that you could change in that lineup to make them, on paper, head and shoulders above where they are now. I think for G2, hitting this lowest point needs to be a moment of real reflection and coming back and not taking anything for granted, because now that they've had this ripped out of their hands, there's no way you can take anything for granted. Even with having one of the best players, that's not good enough in today's game of Counter-Strike. So the implication is that they need to come back with a completely different focus on the game and how they approach and prepare and practice and everything.